So yeah, that's how this format will work.
I like it. Big fan, because you can give me the wide. I can say, give me the wide shot, and then you can go, boom, wide shot. That's awesome. That's great. I like that control. I do like that control. It's just not as intuitive, I guess. Just down a little bit. I just got back from the gym. Ready to talk about some comics.
My wife thinks you're cute, by the way.
Stop it. Stop. She doesn't have to say that. I mean, she can, but she doesn't have to. Well, my wife doesn't think I'm cute at 12 a.m. when I'm trying to snuggle up next to her, and she goes, I'm trying to sleep. She does not find me cute. When I make jokes in the morning and I do my Joker voice, she is not a fan of that. First thing in the morning at 5 a.m.
I've got voicemail of that still.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Okay, well, there's our cold open. This is the OmniDog and T-Bone show. You wanted it. You've got it. We review Hal Jordan and Green Lantern. This book.
Hey-o.
And this book.
Oh, snap. He did it.
That's what it's like. Two friends yucking it up. And so I wish I could somehow stick these books over to.
I know.
Right over to him.
Here, wait. Hit me with the wide shot. Hit me with a wide shot, Jess.
Wait. There.
Today's episode brought to you by Bang Energy Drink.
Bang Energy Drink.
Get a pina colada for breakfast.
Gross. You love those energy drinks.
They're so good. Well, I'm not hyper enough. People tell me that all the time. They're like, you don't have enough energy. So
maybe I should leave it like this. Maybe this is better than the close-ups. We're doing StreamYard still, and we will be for the foreseeable future because Hangouts is going away, and I'm still messing around with this. And Tyler was outraged when he heard Hangouts was going away.
I was. You should have seen the destruction that I left in my wake. It was bad. I went on a root beer rampage. I just went to my collection and just started spraying in slow motion, like root beer to everything. That came out more sensual than I meant it to. Sorry, guys.
That is really gross. Yeah. Yes, my wife loved, I put on Instagram and Facebook my chocolate chip cookie madness that she made, the best chocolate chip cookies she's ever made. And I've been married to her 30 years and I have a history of chocolate chip cookies with her. And she made the best ever. And I posted them and you commented on them. And so she clicked on you and she said, oh, Tyler Blunt's cute. And I said, no, he's not. But she said, yes, he is. And
Jess, that's hurtful. How dare you?
I can't have my wife macking on some other guy.
Your wife is a saint. I can tell you that much, because she's been married to you for 30-something years.
Half my life.
That's crazy.
I know.
That is crazy.
It is very much so.
Almost as crazy as the fact that Green Lantern was so good.
I did not expect it to be good. There's a part I want to talk about right away, but I think we should probably build up to it because it was extraordinarily good. I bought these books whenever they first came out and ignored them, which is when 2016 probably. Let's see here, 2017. Okay, so I've ignored them for 2 years. How many Green Lantern books do I have? Green Lanterns, Hal Jordan. I have 2 more. I have 3 and 4. I've managed to ignore 1 through 4. I don't know why I bought them. I was just like, blah. I got to get all Rebirth when it comes out. And so for some reason we picked them. And you're right. These are really good.
So surprised, because neither one of us, we had this conversation. Neither one of us consider ourselves Green Lantern fans. Like, I've enjoyed the Green Lantern that I've read, but I've never said, when someone says like, hey, who's your favorite DC characters? I never throw out Green Lantern. He's not in my top list. I don't really follow his books. And I think you're the same way.
Yeah, if it was 1976, I'd say yeah, Green Lantern by Neil Adams and Dennis O'Neil. That's probably the last time I gave a real big care about Green Lantern. But um, these books were really, really well done, and it makes me want to read Hawkman by Venditti because it's by Venditti who wrote these books. He's the one that just wrote the new Hawkman, and it's supposed to be so good. So I may be reading that quite soon. But I want to finish up the four. I don't even know how many Hal Jordan books there are.
I'm going till the end.
Are you?
I'm going to go till the end.
Now, that brings up a new question to me. Your iPad went to the graveyard, and you did not buy a Kindle Fire or anything. So what are you reading comics on?
Well, I've been reading them on my desktop, which is just not a great solution.
Yeah.
But it gets the job done, but it's not elegant or ideal because I have to be sitting at my desk.
Right. Instead, you bought a television, which seems really kind of non-Tylerish to me. You don't seem to be the impulsive person. Well, I'm the impulsive buyer. You don't seem to be impulsive to me.
No, I am very impulsive. Look, I wish I had the book in front of me right now, but I got a great book that I'm reading on self-control. But clearly I'm only through chapter 1 because I bought a flipping TV on Amazon Prime Day. I have a TV on my desk over this direction that you can't see. It kind of acts as a third monitor, and I've had it for about 10 years, and it got screen burned really bad. And so there was a flash sale for a TCL 32-inch TV for like $100, and I had $25 in Amazon credit already, so I let it fly.
So that's not crazy.
No, it was. I mean, it was an impulse buy, but it was.
Isn't Amazon Prime still today?
Yeah, it's still going on today. And actually, I don't know when. I think this is going to go up at noon. For those people who are early adopters of this video, there's going to be a sale, I believe, at 3 p.m. Central. So it'd be 4 Eastern. You might want to check me on that. Of the Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale Batman Omnibus. There's going to be a flash sale of that. And then at 5 Central, which would be 6 Eastern, there's going to be a sale of the He-Man Omnibus. I'm not sure what those discounts will look like, but it's a flash sale. So if you've been hanging on hope to getting those omnibus and you're willing to roll the dice on Amazon shipping, today might be the time for you, bro or sis.
And today is July 16th, 2019. For those of you watching it in 2022, scrolling through our old videos. Yeah, you missed it. Sorry.
You missed it. So yeah, didn't get a Kindle. The day's not over. Anything can happen. But as of now, I'm not sure what the long-term solution is for reading DC books, but the monitor is just not ideal.
No. So you want to read Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps all the way through. Does Venditti, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. Does he write it all the way through? Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I went into this book about as blind as you can go into a book.
Yeah, me too.
And maybe that's part of the reason why we both loved it. I don't know. I'd be interested to hear from some long-term Green Lantern fans because I went in blind and came out a huge fan and really thinking like, maybe I do love Green Lantern. And I don't know if that's a function of his writing or just the fact that the character is more interesting than I thought. I liked Hal Jordan Green Lantern from Jeff Johns. I really enjoyed that run. Read a little bit of Green Lantern in the 90s with Kyle Rayner, but not all that much. And that's really about my exposure to the old GL. But it's been fantastic. So jumping off into the story, there's a question I have for you, and you may not know, but people in the audience may know, and I would love to see some Green Lantern experts chime in. The story picks up with how this is coming off the heels of New 52, and how Jordan is a wanted man in the universe because he basically takes the rap for all the bad things the Green Lanterns had done or everything that had gone wrong that people were blaming on Green Lanterns in the New 52.
Right. And I forget why.
And I don't know what, right. I would love to know what happened. And then we find out that he believes that he's the last Green Lantern because all the other lanterns have disappeared and they've gone to another universe. And I found myself super interested in that story, but I didn't really know where to read that, and I couldn't find a good summary online of what happened.
Yeah, let's ask the audience to tell us in the comments, because it's been a solid 3 years between I can't even remember what Green Lantern New 52 the last New 52 Green Lantern stuff I read. I mean, the last Green Lantern I read recently, and by that I mean in the past 3 years, was Jeff Johns' Omnibus #2. So I can't tell you where the Green Lantern Corps went, or why why Hal Jordan took the rap for everything bad. So we'll have to let the audience fill us in on that.
That would be great. And then I know this is a long history, so somebody may not be able to fill us in a short span, but Kyle Rayner.
Oh, I do know. Yeah, I do know how he got to be the White Lantern.
Okay, that I was wondering how he became the White Lantern, and maybe a refresher on the White Lantern's powers in the power set.
That I think that's in Jeff Johns' 3rd volume.
Okay.
I believe. I'm not sure, but I remember how he got. I actually that may be in the 2nd volume, because I remember reading that in this lifetime. I remember reading that in this lifetime. I'm trying to think how and it wasn't like a Kyle Rayner book. It was a Green Lantern book where he got to be the White Lantern. It was I'm pretty sure it was in the Jeff Johns Omnibus.
Okay, that's I don't really know that much about it, and he plays a pretty important role in this.
Right.
But let's just jump into the story. What'd you think?
Go for it. Well, I loved it. You know, I approached it as I feel like I did know somewhere in the back of my mind what had happened, and I just couldn't remember that Sinestro had amassed the Sinestro Corps and taken over, and that Oa had not existed anymore. And so let me see if I can. Let's go for the.
Because it starts off with Sinestro as a really old man, which really confused me.
Right, and then he gets the Parallax to refresh him, and he accepts Parallax into him. And his daughter is part of the Sinestro Corps, and she was a former Green Lantern. And I thought that was interesting that Oa ceased to exist. We see that Sinestro sends all his guys out, and they discover Hal Jordan, and Hal Jordan crushes like a bunch of them, but he ends up getting captured
because Hal Jordan made his own freaking ring.
Yeah.
What?
Of his own willpower.
That was insane.
I know.
That was so cool, I thought.
I thought so too.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, I thought so too. That was amazing. Whoops, there it is.
Oh, that's such a good shot. That's so cool.
Out of his own will.
I love all the supporting characters because I like to do the voices of those characters in my head when I read. So, you read like a big hulkling alien, and I'm like, Hal Jordan, what are you doing over here? Kind of like a Macho Man, Randy Savage type of voice.
Yeah, so I loved how and then we start to see cracks in Sinestro's daughter. She's they capture Hal. We start to see that she's ambivalent about being in the Sinestro Corps, and which leads, I don't know, I feel like jumping around, but I don't, I know I shouldn't. because she's and they've also sent out at this point we also see that the Green Lantern Corps has come back into the universe, and they send out Guy Gardner.
Guy freaking Gardner.
And he gets captured like almost immediately, and they start punishing the crap out of him, and he's not giving up anything.
That was great. I loved the concept of, I thought it was really well executed, that Sinestro, and I've only read John's Green Lantern Volume 1, so this might be a total mischaracterization, but I hope not, because I loved the way that they build him as a guy who truly wants to do good in the universe. He just is going about it the wrong way. Like, he wants order. He wants peace. He's not out to take over the universe and like rule it. He's there to try to keep the peace, but he wants to do it through fear. And he's combined that with the power of Warworld and these guys who basically, they were like this cult who instill fear in people. And so like when Guy gets captured, they're using this cult to take people off of these worlds and to basically make them see their greatest fear, to power the machine, which gives all the Yellow Lanterns way more power than normal.
Oh, like 1,000% their rings are.
It was awesome. And that allows them to keep order and peace in the universe. Like, they are, like, he's trying to, in his mind, be a better version of what the Green Lanterns were.
Yeah.
Which I think is such a nice contrast from just your overly evil, maniacal villain who just wants to take over the universe and kill everything. I want to jump around too so bad, but there's a great fight towards the end between Hal and Sinestro, and they have this really good dialogue where they both very clearly want the same outcome, but are totally different in their methods, and it was really interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So Guy gets captured, and what happened after that?
We have Jon Stewart with the biggest mouth opening ever. So he gets captured. They're trying to convert him into the cult you were talking about. And let's see. So Mogo and the Green Lantern Corps have lost track of Guy, and so they're trying to track him down. And Sinestro's daughter is shocked to see that Hal is actually made of will. He's like clear. His body is clear glass will or whatever. I mean, he's transparent will power. And she's like, whoa, I've never even seen anything like that. So it's just, I don't know. It's just such a good story that, okay, so Hal gets nursed back to life. And let's see, I lost track of where Gardner is. They keep torturing the heck out of him.
He ain't giving up nothing, man.
No, he's not.
Which is funny because he doesn't really even have anything to give up. Like, somebody points that out at some point. You know, the Green Lanterns go looking for him, and John is like,
they've already left their location to look for him. He has nothing to give up. He can't give up their location.
Yeah, like nothing, but he knows he won't do it anyway. And towards the end there, you see Guy is like fading, but he just keeps chanting. Like when he's broken down at his like base, just nothing left, no jokes, no quips. He's just recanting the Green Lantern oath over and over again. And it's faint, but it was such a good Guy Gardner, like strong willpower, strong, just never going to give up moment. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, he's right here, and he finds out that Hal's coming to get him,
Oh, that was awesome.
coming to accept him.
Oh,
Coming to find him, and they start to, and it's at this point, it's really just Hal at this point that's coming to. The Green Lantern Corps hasn't shown up yet. It's just
look at that. Oh, the art. Save that page. When we talk about the art, oh my gosh. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah. The
Love
art
that.
is great.
We'll get to that.
And this says right here, power level 1000.
It's so awesome. Which
Yeah,
speaks to how flippin' powerful how Jordan has gotten by forging his own ring and being made of will, that he is like going toe to toe with a Sinestro. Oh, that's so gorgeous. With a Sinestro that is at 1,000% power.
I know.
Like, that's insane. Literally insane. Which he recognizes also. There's so his plan, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember right, his plan was that like when he was fighting a bunch of Yellow Lanterns, when they first found him, he like was able to sense the war world and all that was going on, and he was afraid to let go. Like, he was afraid to use all of his power because there were innocents around and he didn't want to hurt anybody. So his whole plan is just basically go to War World, get all the people off of War World who don't deserve to be hurt, and then just let loose. And it reminded me of, there's a Justice League. Do you remember the Justice League cartoon show? Justice League and Justice League Unlimited from like.
Sorry, dude.
It hurts. It hurts, yeah. You're really hurting me right now, bro. I thought we were friends, and now you're really backstabbing me on camera. This is okay.
I haven't watched cartoons since Super Friends in 1959.
For those kids who remember, there's a Justice League cartoon episode, and it was actually one of my favorite Superman moments of all time, because Darkseid shows up. It's like one of the last episodes, maybe the last episode of the series. And Darkseid shows up to Earth, and I don't remember exactly how it happens, but like all the civilians are gone, or all the people are gone, or something. And Superman has this dialogue where he tells Darkseid, he's like, you know what? Every single day, I live in a cardboard world where I have to hold back, and just the slightest slip up will hurt somebody. But nobody's here, and you can take it, can't you, big guy? He's like, and so he's like, so for once in my life, I get to let loose all of my power. And he just goes to town on Darkseid. It was so awesome. And I got that same feeling when Hal finally confronts Sinestro, where he's like, you know what? I've been worried about hurting everybody else. Not anymore. It's just you and me, bruh. And we about to throw down.
Yeah. And it also helps that all the fear reserves are going down, because Sinestro's daughter throws in with Hal.
Yes, that was awesome.
And so she's and there's lots of people in Sinestro's Corps who feel the same way, and so they you know, they want law and order too, but not necessarily the same way Sinestro does. And so they start to go with Sinestro's daughter, and which is right here. And so they Sinestro, where she's saying Sinestro's law is over, and so they start letting loose a lot of the people in the area, and that starts to bring down the reserves of power.
Yeah.
And lets Hal let loose on Sinestro even more.
Oh, that's so cool. So they have what is one of the coolest Green Lantern fights I've seen.
Look how big he is here.
Yeah, that's great, dude. That's so great. And it ends with that massive explosion.
Yeah.
And Hal's gone and Sinestro's gone. And Hal's ring starts saying, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, deceased, error. Jordan deceased, error, error, error. Hal Jordan deceased. And so it's like searching all over the universe like Green Lantern rings do. And it ends up finding the two Guardians who were left alive at the end of, I guess, New 52, I'm inferring from the story.
Right.
When Sinestro took over, they were exiled. They weren't killed. They were exiled. And it finds them, and they realize the Green Lanterns are back. Holy crap, Hal made his own ring, and Hal is somehow still alive.
Yeah, and here's the final page of this book is when the Sinestro Corps remnants, they decide we're the good guys. We'd like to, join forces with the Green Lantern Corps, who show up, and there's Guy Gardner right there in the middle, who's had the pulp beaten out of him, which leads to the second book.
Which I did not think was quite as strong story-wise.
But it had the best moment, and I will tell you why.
Okay, you tell me what you loved about it.
I will tell you. I'll tell you the best moment, and then you can talk about the rest of the book, because the rest of the book was great.
Yeah,
with Kyle Rayner's white lighting Hal back into existence and everything. But there was this point where. Okay, yeah, that was great. But wait, where was? Oh, I was so disappointed in this one thing. Okay, wait, here it is. I was like, wait, I have to. Let me highlight. Let me get it so I can show. Let me get it so I can show. Okay, let me get it so I can just show Starro.
Yes, that
Starro
was
shows
great. And so unexpected. I did not expect that at all.
Okay, well, let me tell you how I feel about Starro. Here's Starro showing up. Starro shows up and then disappears, and there's a shield. And they're like, what's happening in the shield? And it's freaking Brainiac. And I said, Starro and Brainiac. What is this, 1963? You got to be kidding me. See, I am sick of Starro and Brainiac. I know
you read too much of Starro and Brainiac.
Right. I have read way too much Starro and Brainiac.
But this is Brainiac 2.0, Jeff. Okay. Totally different.
I'm like, Starro, Brainiac, come on. You got to be kidding me. These guys aren't interesting or at all unique or original. Why are you throwing them in the story? But then they're in service of Larfleeze, which is unbelievably great.
Oh, it was so awesome.
That was so an unexpectedly awesome twist that Larfleeze has Brainiac using Starro to collect things for Larfleeze, who must have everything in the universe because he's so
he's so greedy.
He's so greedy. He's the lantern of avarice. He wants everything, so he uses Brainiac to collect everything for him. That was awesome.
I agree totally. When I was reading the story, and maybe you guys at home who've read this felt this way, and maybe you felt this way, I was like, Starro, that's really cool. But then it kind of dragged a little bit. Like I was like, oh man, this is going to be like a long, and then like, oh, Brainiac, okay. And I was super invested into what was happening with the other storyline, the B-side story with Hal and the ring and Kyle and all that.
Right.
So I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, let's just come on, like, let's get through the other stuff. Because I thought it was just going to be like a one-off Green Lanterns, team up with Yellow Lanterns and go save a random world from Starro. And then they're done. And then I'm like, okay, I guess Brainiac's kind of cool. That's a breakout. But then when Larfleeze showed up, that was so awesome. And it just totally pulled me back into that storyline. I was like, this is great. It was so good.
I loved it. They had all these, they were bottled, and he had all these bottled worlds, and Larfleeze wanted everything. It was so great.
And it made so much sense narratively. Like obviously Larfleeze and Brainiac make a great pair. Like, that's great. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I just thought that was absolutely genius to have get me suckered into thinking Starro and Brainiac were part of the story. And I almost put the book down at that point because I was like, I'm not reading about Starro. This is
Right.
ridiculous. I read about Starro when I was 7 years old. I'm not reading about Starro again. And then it's Larfleeze. That was great.
I agree totally. That was fantastic. Totally agree. Yeah, that was wonderful. So there was one thing that I'm trying to look here on my other monitor. Yeah, I have two monitors. Not a big deal. I mean, some people are impressed, but it's not that big of a deal.
Well, now you have 3, don't you? That you bought a
Yeah,
new one?
I got the TV coming. Okay, well, I'm having trouble navigating this.
Well, then Larfleeze becomes a big part of the whole rest of the book.
Yeah,
because he's got so many civilizations that he's collected that he wants.
Great. So while they're captured, to give kind of a recap and some thoughts on basically what they said was how Jordan went into the ring. Excuse me. He went into the ring, into what's known as the Emerald Space. I believe is what they called it. The Emerald Way.
Where he met Abin Sur.
Yes, he met Abin Sur, which was really cool. And all the Green Lanterns who had died were there in service to the Green Lantern Corps. They were all there. And Abin Sur has this great dialogue with him where Hal's like, listen, I tried to honor your legacy. Like, you were the greatest Lantern. I tried to do things the way you would want. Excuse me. I know I screwed up sometimes. Why did you choose me? And Abin Sur is like, one, you're reading too much into it. I died and the ring does what it wants. And it was like, but two, I didn't choose you. Like, your will was so strong. You chose to be a Green Lantern by having that much will or something like that. I don't remember the exact words, but it was really cool. I thought it was really cool. Not necessarily a twist, but a development beyond just, oh, well, okay. You know, it's just like the same way any Green Lantern gets chosen. Someone dies and then a ring goes and finds a replacement. It really elevated Hal and how special he is to even above all the other Green Lanterns, to how much willpower he has. And it plays into the story of how much will he has and what he's able to do with that. But it was really cool. And you know, they're like, hey, dude, you got more to do. Kyle Rayner gets called in by the two Guardians who are like, hey, Hal's in the rings. Like, he's fading fast. His essence is going. You can bring him back to life. And basically he does it. So I know that the White Lantern has the ability to access all the different colors on the spectrum, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But also he has some control over life.
Right.
I don't understand fully how that works. Maybe you can explain it.
I can't.
Well, okay, then I guess it's one of those things where maybe it just, however it fits in the story.
He's like the Supreme Lantern.
Yeah, which is cool. And I know there's so many Kyle Rayner fans, especially kids of the 90s who grew up with him as their Green Lantern.
Right.
Really love that character. So it's cool that he's got such an important part of the Green Lantern mythos. I wish they had done that with Wally West, which is still salty about that.
It's Wally West. Let's ask Siri. Hey, Siri. What are Kyle Rayner's White Lantern powers?
Okay, I found this on the web for what are Kyle Rayner's White Lantern powers. Check it out.
Lets the user create white energy constructs powered by itself. The user blah blah blah. Oh, this isn't right.
Oh, come on, Siri, you bringing up bad stuff.
No, I picked the wrong one.
It's never operator error, Jess. Never operator error.
Well, there's a White Lantern Corps.
There was?
Yeah, that's from Blackest Night. I remember that.
Okay.
That's where it came from.
I haven't made it that far yet.
When Kyle Rayner is in possession of the White Ring, he's able to utilize the abilities and functions of the other 7 colored rings. As the sole White Lantern, Kyle Rayner has the life equation within his ring and uses the power of the entire spectrum. Eventually, he had to split the life equation into 7 parts and placed into Kyle's and 6 newly created blubbity blubbity blah 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 blah. When Kyle built the rings, he felt they should come with an instruction manual. Each wearer of these new rings, the ring blubbity blah. Some jerk. That doesn't really do it for me.
Well, someone let us know in the comments down below.
Wait, I have another one. Kyle Rayner. Powers and abilities as a Green Lantern. Donna, Troy. Hey, come on. Just give me the White Lantern part. Other versions. Holy guacamole.
Holy guacamole, Batman. You're watching the OmniDog and T-Bone Show. Star 93.5.
Anyway, super powerful.
T-Bone in the morning.
How powerful are White Lanterns? Can resurrect the dead, including restoring life to barren landscapes.
Okay. Well, he brought Hal back, which was sick.
Yeah.
And
we have to mention that Rotlop used the F-sharp bell, which is my favorite thing.
That was awesome. I've never seen that character before, but it was great.
Oh, yeah. The F-sharp bell is great, to loosen all the Starro things off people's faces.
That was awesome.
You've never seen the F-sharp bell before?
No, I don't. Not that I recall.
I think that's in one of the Jeff Johns omnibus things. The F-sharp bell. It's got its own chant and everything.
I saw where he was doing his own chant. I was like, what is this?
I know. That's definitely in John's omnibuses.
So they save everybody. And at the very end, Sinestro's daughter, the Yellow Lanterns who kind of defected, and the Green Lantern Corps, including Hal, were essentially saying, like, let's do this universe police thing as one corps together with the Yellow Lanterns.
Right.
Which I thought was a really interesting and unique,
right.
A unique idea. I don't know what that will look like, but I'm extremely interested to read more.
Yeah, me too. Which I think you and I agree is the basis of a good comic book that we're compelled to read more. And
that was a good hook, and I found it extremely compelling.
Yeah,
I want to read more, so I give this the T-Bone stamp of approval. OmniDog and T-Bone double stamps. Boom, boom.
Double stamps. Boom boom.
The art, real quick, before we wrap this up. The art was phenomenal.
Yeah, the art was great.
Again, man, some of these inkers are just so stellar. The in particular, the fight between Hal and Sinestro was magnificent.
Oh, yeah.
The colors were great. There's the scene where Sinestro, like, you can see the yellow energy cracking his skin and coming out from his body.
Yeah, let me see if I can get that.
I love the books that are so colorful. I think that's just so fun. And what better series to be colorful in than this series right here? Yeah, look at that art. I mean, the drawing, like the actual character design, I thought was good. Very good. I would not say the best I've ever seen, but it was very, very good. Like super solid all around. There were no real big missteps or anything like that. But the coloring was just phenomenal with the lights going everywhere. Yeah, look at that. The constructs felt like super vibrant. Like you get like where Sinestro is getting like a wave of green energy rushed around him. It was stellar. And that fight in particular, where even at the end, Sinestro, one thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about the story, Sinestro is trying to convince Hal, like, hey, it's not too late, dude. Join me. I used to hate you, but now I know that you can do a lot. I want you to join me. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's just so good. The way his chest glows, like the yellow light from the ring. Oh man, the splash pages. I loved the art. I thought it fit so well with the series.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So overall, this may be I think this is my favorite book we've read and we've done on the show so far.
I think so too, because I really, really want to read the next 2 books that I own. And I don't know how much further there is to go, but if it keeps being this strong with the same writer, I'll read all of them
Me too. Absolutely.
on your computer screen.
Yeah, that's it. On my monitor as I'm up close, like, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Let me pull out my magnifying tool. Yeah, absolutely stellar. So that's our wrap up of
We
this.
liked it. We think you should too.
Absolutely. If you haven't read it, you've just been spoiled on the whole thing, but it still won't take away from how great it is. If you have read it, would love to know your thoughts, especially if you've continued to read through Rebirth. Give us your thoughts on the rest of the run. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, avoid spoilers as much as possible.
Yeah, unlike us who just spoiled the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get in a review. So why don't you tell them what we're going to read next time? Because I am so freaking excited about this.
I have it right here.
Tell you, Jess, I can't even flip and tell you how excited I am.
We're going to read this dude, Volume 1. I have absolutely less than 0 experience. This is like the first time I've ever even opened this book. I have less than 0 experience. Well, now I have 0 experience with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, TMNT, and Tyler's excited to review this book. So this is what we're going to review this week for next week.
I'm so excited because I am a lifelong Turtles fan. At 4 years old, I was exposed to the TV show, and I have loved Turtles ever since. I've watched every animated series except for the newest one so far. I have read a bunch of the original comics. I've read some of the series, but not all of it. And in general, and I've seen all the movies. I love the toys. I love the games. Turtles in Time is like my favorite.
You are obsessed.
I'm obsessed with Ninja Turtles, okay? Absolutely obsessed. So I think we're going to have a really good time next episode checking out this book, seeing what a long-term, lifelong fan of Ninja Turtles feels, and then a newcomer who's had no experience with it feels. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
0.
A lot of fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks to all our viewers. We appreciate it. And we will see you next time on the OmniDog and T-Bone Show. Right on, man. Thanks for watching.
Shazam!